6 pivotal improvements to my astro imaging game. The first one is what you can see behind me, the weather cover on the rig. So with the weather cover, I'm not faced with the decision of, do I need to bring out the entire rig, which is a time-consuming process. For me, it's just, okay, I'm going to try my chances here. I'll whip the weather cover off and maybe I'll get an hour or two of good sub exposures out of the entire night of crud there. Now, over the course of a couple of weeks, that hour or two adds up, and then I can end up pulling together an image that I may not have otherwise had the chance to. Here underneath is a drawstring, and there we go. So once the cover's off, the rig's fully ready to go and image. All I need to do is inside, press a single connect all button in Nina, and everything's on. Just take the lens covers off and I'm good to image. No need to polar align because that's already done. The next big improvement to my overall imaging game, a pivotal improvement, was software. I'm now able to process my images a lot faster than I could previously and do things that I was previously unable to do. You're looking at about £300 for PixInsight, plus about another £250 for the RC Astro plugins, Star XT, Noise XT, and Blur XT. Third big pivotal improvement was a change in my own mentality from sort of star hopping around, if you will, like moving from target to target during the night, to just focusing on one target per night, one filter per night, and then hitting that same target for multiple nights in a row. And that slow burn project style mentality relieved all the stress out of the hobby for me. I wasn't focused on getting one image completed per imaging session, and I could just relax into it. And if one night didn't work out and say I didn't get enough data in S2, it's no big deal. I'll do it another night. So 4 and 5 tie in together. Number 4 is taking time lapses. There are some nights where you have a really thin layer of high cloud moving through and it's consistently there. So when you go and look at your sub exposures after an imaging session, you might look at them and say, they all look okay. However, that thin layer of cloud, if compared to a perfectly clear night, then you'll see the difference. A time lapse is perfect for capturing and being able to quickly review how much cloud was moving through on that night. So you can say, well, I'm not even going to bother with that night's subs, where you may have actually used those subs from that night, combined with subs from another night, and contaminated your good subs. Number 5 is culling. So using less images can sometimes give you a better end result than using images that were subpar. I do a 3-stage process there. So I review the time lapse, and then I also look at subframe selector in PixInsight to go through a process that I highlighted in this video here that you can go and watch, and then also the blink tool where I apply my human eye to the stack and pick out any outliers. And lastly, number 6, moving to a fully automated imaging sequence using advanced sequences. Here I have to again say thanks to Patriot Astro for his advanced sequences in Nina. They have revolutionized the way I do this hobby now. I don't have to stay up. I can start an imaging session and then go and spend time with my wife. I can go out, I can go to bed. I don't actually have to be next to the rig. And that all ties in with the equipment that is on the rig to take full use of that. So when you first start out with a DSLR or a mirrorless camera, it's unlikely that you'd be able to just set up an imaging session and step away, just because as the temperature in the night changes, you will have to manually refocus your camera lens. But when you move to a dedicated Astro setup, that setup is designed to be used in a fully automated way.
What if I tell you there's a hobby out there that will test your patience like no other, getting transferred into the body of the camera, that will satisfy your tinkering needs, that will drain your bank account, that will mean you don't need to come into contact with anyone, ever. Welcome to the world of mono astrophotography. This is Astro with Chris.